popping up. So we're right here. What are we thinking? What are we wanting? If I ask you, like, what's the perf unit in this carousel?
Uh, I I think I just went for the Vel'Koz just because he's a four cost, and I was gonna go avoid Brawler, so I just grabbed him. But uh, honestly, don't know.
Okay.
If I could
Uh huh.
choose items, I would choose that Jin for that tier, so that I can start with Syrops,
You
and
want to
then probably
do
just
okay?
do
So
some Vanguard snipers at first or something until
I
Vel'Koz.
recommend if it's your first time watching like his website, I suggest you read the whole thing. I think he had a really good section on the Lilac Nebula in specific. He has a full list of the priority units, what's better and what's worse. But he says, if I'm not mistaken, that the most important thing is the item on the unit. So the worst unit in the game right now in terms of forecast is Soraka. So we're not looking at Soraka. If the guy that gets Soraka, we say we're sorry, right?
Okay.
After that, it's Wukong. So you don't want Wukong and you don't want a Soraka. But I'm thinking, if I want to do Mech Infiltrator, I want to give the Mech QSS. That's a Fizz with a fist. I like that. I want to give Irelia QSS and I as an Irelia with a Negatron. Bam! If I get that Irelia, I'm already super ahead. Like it's a hard to get unit. I'll get cybernetics. She's already super strong. If I get QSS, boom, off the bat. Vel'Koz has a sword, and I want to do Seraph's Death Cap QSS. So I'm gonna have to sell that Vel'Koz, and the win condition for that comp is level 3 Vel'Koz. So Vel'Koz isn't ideal. I tried using the GA. Once he dies, his laser stops firing, so you don't get any value off the GA.
Makes sense too.
So this carousel is always gonna be hard,
Then,
right? If they
'cause
spawn,
that makes a ton of sense.
yeah. So this carousel is always gonna be hard. They spawn fairly quickly, and you don't have a lot of time. And everybody's like, what, like not Chiraka, not Chiraka, not Chiraka. So again, this is really easy to tell in retrospect, and this is kind of why I wanted to like for you to look at it because Jinx is also a pretty good unit here because she's got the armor for the red buff, and Jinx recently got buffed. They also have the Kale with the rod that we could do Morello at. So some of these units are going to be significantly better than others. Like if it was a Jin with a sword, oof, we want that really bad. Cho'Gath, I think it's Void Brawler's a thing. So when you see Cho'Gath, it's not Vel'Koz. So like I did it, and it was kind of BM that I kind of just slightly bullied the person that picked up the Vel'Koz.
That Cho'Gath would have been pretty good too, because doesn't the recurve ball plus armor turn to Titan's Resolve, which is pretty good on Cho'Gath, or is that not good on him?
It is. The thing is, the priority item on Cho'Gath is GA, right? And like there is a reason for each priority item. Cho'Gath only cares about GA because Cho'Gath is only there to press R once. If he does that, we're fine. That's all he needed to do. But giving him more items than that is wasting resources that could be used in other units that could be using them better. And ideally, we get all of the items for Vel'Koz, who's going to be a pain in the butt to itemize anyway.
I'm not sure if you realize this, but that was actually like a light bulb moment for me, what you just said.
What do you mean?
Because I didn't realize that if the unit dies and it has a lot of mana and it revives,
Oh.
like, does it get that same mana back, or does it
Yeah.
start back at 0?
No. Comes back full mana.
Pretty cool.
Yeah,
I did not
people
know
have been
that.
abusing that from the last set. I know you mentioned you're kind of new, so these are the little things. The micro mechanics that I feel like should be more better explained in the tutorial, and they're not. And that's why Gangplank needed the GA. Gangplank, when Rebels was a thing, you only needed a Gangplank 1 because Gangplank needed to ult and stun literally everybody in the battlefield while Vel'Koz kept flying around dealing percentage damage with Morello.
Yeah, that would have been cool to know before.
Yeah, and you'll figure some of these stuff out. Again, you can check out the video series that I did. But there's a difference between flat damage and percentage damage. Do you know how that works?
Well, I know how percentages work, but I'm not sure
Okay, so if I
what the
tell you
difference is in the game.
what's the which which item would you prefer in the early game, or which item is defined as an early game? Which item is defined as an early game item? Static Shiv or Morellonomicon,
I
and
would
why?
say Static Shiv, just because it does burst damage, flat damage at first, and then later on Morello's because it does percentage and people get more health later on.
Okay, yeah, and that's how it works. Do you know about how certain items? Do you know how Ludens works?
It's
I know I'm
when
going
you're
into the minutia of things, but because we mentioned the GA, that's why I'm trying to think of random examples that might be good ways to learn about these.
think when the Ludens was like when you ult and then it hits 2 or 3 other dudes.
So the strength of Ludens is based on the star of the unit, of the levels of the unit, not the cost. So Morello is always going to do the same flat percentage. Static Shiv is always going to do the same flat damage. Red Buff is always going to do the same flat percentage. Ludens will deal more damage if it's on a higher leveled unit.
It's pretty awesome. Where does it say that? That'd be so cool to know.
You can, I guess, I could check it out for you. Give me a second, I can look it up. Ludens TFT. Not finding the. I guess we could talk about it, like after we finish up the video. But yeah, and there's certain items that work that way. So a lot of the items feel like they're very straightforward, but you have to read the little things. Like if I ask you, does Yasuo ult a random unit?
Hits somebody and knocks them up. I don't know.
Yeah. So you know how his ultimate is like he just goes Wasagi and he goes on someone, right? Hill.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. So do you know how his ultimate his ult?
I just know that he knocks somebody up and then he ults them. I'm not sure if it's like nearest person, farthest person,
So it's actually
or
the
how that
unit with
works.
the most items.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and if you don't know that, and he's always attacking someone that you consider random, then you don't really know how to counter him. But the way to counter Yasuo is you don't put 3 items on your carry, you put 2 items on your tank, and then Yasuo has a 50% chance to hit the tank instead of the carry, and then you can win off of that.
That's pretty awesome.
So, and
That's actually
again,
pretty useful for my cybernetics too, because usually I dump everything on Aurelia, which will save everybody else in the back line from
mm-hmm.
dying.
And those are the little things that, depending on the comp that you're playing, or from personal experience from playing the game, is where you're gonna learn a lot of these little things. I think I did. I tried my best to put as many details as I could in the video. I didn't go into every single item because they keep changing from every set. Another example of the 3-star, now that I remembered, is the. Do you know the name of the bow and giant's belt? It summons the purple thing.
Is it the Giant Slayer one or
No. Bow and giants.
like the ZZ
ZZ Rock portal. So, do you know how
Yeah.
how does it work?
Honestly, I've never really built it, so
Okay. So the way ZZ Rock portal is, if it's on a 1 cost unit and the unit dies, it summons a 1,000 health Voidling. If it's on a 3 cost unit, it summons a 3,000 health Voidling.
that'd be pretty cool for like mechs, right?
People have done it. I tried combining it with the GA to see if it triggered, because stuff like that used to trigger, I think, in set 2, but it doesn't trigger right now. And that's that's the fun aspect of the game, right? Limit testing, seeing item interactions. Some of these are more known than others, but it's always just fun to test them out yourself, right?
Right.
I'm gonna press play here. Is it lagging for you or is it lagging for me?
The video or the stream?
Yeah, I
right
think the
now?
video is lagging a little bit.
Uh, I'm just
No, and
seeing
that's
the
okay, because
screen.
I really just care about the... Yeah, I'm just gonna skip ahead on these. These are very straightforward. Like, I
Oh
just...
yeah, for some reason, like it was just really choppy when I watched it back on YouTube. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, I think it might have to done with your bitrate. So bit Kazakhs here, nice. So we're committing to Void Brawlers, right? Well, the thing is, the problem is... Oh, I like the Scout. I like the Scout. The problem is, like, committing to Void Brawlers is automatically saying, okay, we're gonna get contested.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that guy high rolled a Nico. Okay, I'm just gonna skip here a little bit.
Oh, all the hotkeys work too.
Okay.
Yeah, I just found out about hotkeys at that time.
Ironically enough, I have a video for that. So you picked up Ash. I don't think you're gonna have a lot of time, but would you have done anything different this turn?
Here, I think I would have just kept the Ash so that she can just sit in the back and do damage while I choke off
So
tanks and
when
assassins.
the more I do coaching, the more I realize I like two phrases in specific, and I feel like they're gonna get really old really fast for anybody like watching the series overall. But when I'm trying to make my team comp, I like to see it as if I was sailing, right? There's that North Star. If we know where we're going, we're never going to get lost. But if we don't know where we're going, we're lost, like automatically, right? So what I'm trying to say with that is you need to know what your final team comp looks like before you go into the game in order to not buy units that you don't need or miss units that you need when you didn't realize it, right? Does that make sense?
So I probably should just sell the Ash so that I could econ better and just get better units.
So what I'm trying to say is if I ask you, what is the late game composition of this comp? How does it look like?
Cho'Gath up in the middle, Vel'Koz in the bottom, got the Brawlers with the Blitzcrank 2, and another Sorcerer. So that Vel'Koz gets that AP buff.
So
Uh,
again, and the positioning is not me. This is what I've used from Bunny Muffins. I like it a lot. It makes a whole lot of sense to me after playing it a couple times. Honestly, it always makes sense to me. But he puts Blitzcrank right here, Vi here, Cho'Gath here. I think either these two might be mixed. I can't really remember. Malphite here, Vel'Koz here, Twisted Fate here, and Kazakhs here. I personally like to put Kazakhs here just for having so he can jump faster to the back line. But the idea, the really, really smart thing is this right here. Blitzcrank will hook someone, right? And then Vel'Koz is right here. That means Vel'Koz doesn't have to move. He can auto attack. Because your front line is on this side of the map, everybody here is going to stay here. Everybody here is going to walk over here. You might have one or two sniper units that want to stay over here, but we already hooked someone in here. So even if the enemy has one unit left, it'll be one unit while everybody else is walking over here. Because the range unit that's in this corner is already over here. And we're attacking him with Vel'Koz. We want Vel'Koz to have double tier so he presses R faster. This entire area is going to get ulted by Vel'Koz, and it's going to melt everything. Because double tier means he gets press R really fast. And that's just massive amount of true damage, splash damage that's going on. So that's our game plan. That's our positioning. That's the units that we want. So we want Twisted Fate because he synergizes well with Blitzcrank because you get Chronos together. So I think the optimal play here is to sell Ash and then buy both Twisted Fates. But if it makes sense, good. The what?
Oh yeah. I was just saying, I guess I never really bought Twisted Fate yet, so I guess I didn't realize he had a Chrono, which works good with Blitzcrank. So
yeah.
that makes a lot of sense too.
So for a lot of these comps, the set hasn't been out long enough that most of the comps are already probably going to be figured out. You can limit test. Again, that's what I've been doing. I'm trying to do that meme to diamond thing that feels very, very hard. And I don't know if I should just meme to gold, man, or I don't know. I'm still making up my mind on that one. But people are playing on the PvE. The pros are playing. But you can still limit tests on your own if that's something that you enjoy out of the game. But if that's not something you enjoy and you're just playing to, like, climb, that there's no need to reinvent the wheel when there's tools out there from people that are trying to help the community improve and optimize the game, like, as a whole.
That's true.
And so I think this is TFT Tactics. I don't like it. I disagree. I think Bunny Muffin's guide is a lot better than this. I don't like using the Star Guardians. This is also a 9 comp. I disagree with going for 9 comps because the aggression you need to have on contested comps for 2 stars of some of these units is hard. And more often than not, a comp like this needs at least 3 stars to hit first. And that means you're never going to hit 9. Like, that, it's unrealistic. And so I never recommend, even if you're theory crafting on your own, don't go for 9. Like, as a rule. Like, yeah, if we hit 9, awesome. But we hit 9 because we hit everything else and we could afford to hit 9. But that more often than not, it's not going to happen. I'm going to press play here.
What should we do instead?
Then we want to focus our comps to be 8 comps. Like, 8 unit comps. So, if you... Okay. And on this comp in specifically, it's actually a 7 unit comp. So, you can do whatever you want with the last one. You can run double Vel'Koz, double Cho'Gath. Because it's 4 brawlers, right? Malphite, Vi, Cho'Gath, Blitzcrank, then 2 Voidlings to do the full setup, Kha'Zix and Cho'Gath, and then Twisted Fate for sorcerers, for sorcerer for Vel'Koz, and Chrono for Blitzcrank, and that's 7. You're online. The thing is, we need so much money to 3 stars 2 units that are 4 cost that's probably where most of our money is going to end up going anyways. Does that make sense? Okay, cool.
It seems obvious in hindsight.
No, there's no obvious thing, man. Like I might be able to explain it properly and very fluidly, but I put a lot of time into this set and this game. I've been diamond 3 times. It's not Challenger, but like I put in all the little things that I'm telling you are like added knowledge throughout a long time playing the game. So I don't want you to feel like that. Because again, I started the same place you started. The thing is, I started when the game was in beta. So I'm just here trying to help you out, and then you don't have to have as much time as I spent getting there. And I'm just giving you that shortcut to get to the good part. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. And I appreciate it too. So, and thanks for your time and everything, man.
Yeah, for sure. Happy to do it. Man, we were e-girls so hard. We got that tier. We got... But I feel... So, again, we want to stay flexible. And I feel at this point, you were kind of just... I got Cho'Gath, I'm forcing it. And Cho'Gath is one of those units that, well, I guess I can kind of... Like, if you had an Aurelia, then, yeah, commit to that. Like, that's going to be strong. But a Cho'Gath, that's committable. That's pivotable. So, based on what we talked about right now, not when you play this game, based on those items, what are you thinking?
With these items, I think we could start looking for... Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on, let me look to see what the sword and the bell does.
Sure.
Megatron Pro.
Oh, you can ask me. Sword and Negatron does BT, Bloodthirster. They deal 50% or 35% of the damage that they deal in auto attacks.
Oh, I was thinking that now with that, I could just throw that on Kha'Zix because Vel'Koz and nobody else really is going to need it later on, and Kha'Zix does a bunch of damage.
So, quick question. Is Kha'Zix a good unit?
I mean, I read somewhere that he's a good early game unit, but later on, he's just a 1-star.
Kha'Zix is one of the worst units in the game.
Yeah, 1 cost.
So there are good 1-cost units and there are bad 1-cost units, right? Kha'Zix is bad. Why is Kha'Zix bad? Because Kha'Zix, the only way that he deals any kind of significant damage if the unit is isolated. when there are 9 units on the board, they're probably not going to be isolated. So essentially, we end up using Cossacks honestly for the synergies, whether it's 4 infiltrators or 3 voids. So we almost never want to itemize Cossacks. We can even have a Cossacks 3, and we look at him as like, that's pretty. We did a Cossacks 3. He's still not getting items. I think I saw Becca Tilt do a Cossacks 3, not a single item on him. He was like, she wasn't trying to do it. She didn't force it. It just happened, but she didn't itemize it. So this is the thing I was trying to get at with the whole sailing analogy, which I think is better with a more concrete example like this. So we want a specific comp, and we want specific items. So I want QSS on Vel'Koz, I want Seraphs on Vel'Koz, I want Deathcap on Vel'Koz, and I want GA on Cho'Gath. I have a sword that gives me GA if I get one more item. I have a tier that gives me Seraphs if I get one more item. And I have a Negatron that gives me QSS if I get one more item.
So probably just save the sword, hope for a chain vest, save the tier to hope that you get another tier for the Seraphs, and the Negatron cloak.
So basically, we're not mixing any items. We're keeping them as individual components because we have basically half the comp that we want, half the units that we want. I mean, have the items that we want. We're just missing the other half of them. So this is a decent place to be at. It's not perfect because if we had like the fully built items, we could focus on the other ones. But we're still flexible on items as well. Now, I'm not sure what you're going to do in the next round. And I'm just going to talk about this preemptively just because I see people more often than not do this. And did you... Actually, no. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I'll look at the next round before I make any comments.
Too much confidence in my skill here.
No, I'm just trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, man, honestly.
It's just the fates again, partnership ages.
So, did you do anything here? Okay. So you're thinking about it. Ah, wait. I like this. Wait. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, you're thinking about it? Ah. Okay, you didn't do it. Okay. So let's talk about this. I think there's a good amount of stuff to talk about here. Was it... Okay, I know I was making fun about it, right? But was it smart to level in that situation?
Am I going to level 4 right now? Or did I just level up from 2 to 3?
From 3 to 4.
Really not, because I don't have anything to really buy.
Well, that, and I think you want to scout a little bit, right? Like, before you commit more than half of the money that you have, you need to figure out if you need the strength really, really badly. And so, more often than not, before you level up like that, because you had time after the PvE, or during the PvE, you could have scouted. I think, again, scouting is a thing. It's not easy. Doing it every turn will be exhausting if you're playing more than one game a day. So I'm not putting anything on that, but it's something that I think almost every player could get better at. So the other thing is, I like that you took out the Ashe. I didn't necessarily need you to sell her, but I'm fine with that. I would have sold her earlier. You got the Storks. I like it. You're looking for synergies. Now, the one thing I'm going to ask you, and this is the thing I didn't want to mention because I wanted to see if you were going to do it, is why are your items on your bench?
Why are my items on the bench?
Yes.
Oh, well, I guess I was just afraid to get it stuck on a character, and then later on need to sell that character. So I was just letting it sit there.
I feel this is like the shameless self-advertisement, but I promise you I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to use the context, right? But I have a video on playing emotionally. And I think this is a good example of that. Because it sounds like at one point you had a bad experience where you used your items and then they combined on a unit that you wanted to keep, but it wasn't the item that you wanted on that unit. So for this, and this is the second thing, right? Like the first thing is the sailing thing, and this is the second. To me, the bench is like your bed. And putting money underneath your bed is going to feel very safe, right? Because no one's going to go into your bedroom. And so it's the safest place in the world. The problem is money loses value when it's not used. So putting money under your bed is consistently making it less, consistently making consistently making it be worth less money, even if it's the same amount of money. So units are like the bank. Is it slightly riskier than being under your bed? Yeah. Is it more likely that it will generate interest and give you money so at least you break even? Yes. That's more often than not the case. So what I'm trying to say with this is having items on the bench should be a last resort, and you want to get the most value out of your items if you're trying to win. If you're trying to lose, leave them on the bench. You want to stay weak. If you want to win, or you want to lose, depending on the power level, you can do it with items, you can do it with the positioning. But if you want to win, then put items that you don't need to complete or have already completed on units that you're going to sell. So like, again, the example. Right now, Zoe is never staying on your final comp. Assuming that you're going to do the comp that's on the top left of the screen, she's never going to stay. So we want to give her the tier. So we start up the fight with her pressing R. It essentially becomes a 3v2, and we have the advantage. So we're not wasting the tier because we're not combining it, but we're getting the value out off the item.
Makes a ton of sense instead of just sitting there wasting space.
You'd be surprised. I'm looking at gold players. I'm looking at plat players do this in every single... Like, I'm going off on Twitch, and I'm looking for people who might be interested in coaching. I was able to get one person joined my stream afterwards, and we talked a little bit. And one person said, "No, I'm fine." And then I saw him play. I think he was like gold 1 or something. And he never uses items. And I'm just like, why don't you use your items? He's just like, I don't want to commit to anything. And I'm like, but your units are committing to something. And I just, like, I feel bad because I don't want to be like backseat gaming anyone. But I kind of wish if I could just explain the reasoning to me, I feel like I could get them to play better. And that's really what I guess I'm trying to do with this. But I'm surprised by the amount of people that I'm offering like legitimate like free coaching from. Again, I'm not a challenger, but I think D2 is decent enough. And everyone's like, I'm good. I'm like, okay, man. Okay.
That's the perks of being a bronze.
No,
you go.
Let's see how this goes. So your enemy has good synergies, but that Ionic Spark is really bad. So why is Ionic Spark bad on KO? And I might be quizzing you on stuff that you don't really know because you don't play this item or these units, but...
I mean, doesn't Ionic Spark need you to get hit or something like that?
So I believe Ionic Spark needs you not to get hit. The enemy needs to cast a spell, but the unit needs to be next to your unit by like 2 hexes. Kale doesn't want to be close to anyone, so that Ionic Spark is literally doing nothing. That guy might as well have like 2 individual items.
Unless he was like specifically trying to counter my Kazakhs.
No one's trying to counter Kazakhs.
Not good compositions. What is BF sword?
See you whispering here to yourself a little bit. You're thinking out loud. What do I do? So here we hit our gold interest breakpoint, so we're not looking to level. We scouted. There we go. I like the scouting. That guy looked like he was open forting or AFK. I can't really tell.
I saw one person do that before, and I was just like, dude, this guy like.
AFK. Wait. What was that? No, I saw something that I feel like it was important that you noticed, and you kind of just skimmed over it really fast.
Pretty sure we're gonna lose.
Okay. The Wukong player. Man, that was like a split second, man. Don't give me any time to even pause it.
What do you think it was?
I'm trying to show you that there was information that you didn't use that you needed to use. Right there. So he's significantly more ahead than you. Did you notice this?
I did not notice that.
Okay. I don't think
No,
there was anything you could do, but I'm just like that's the guy that I would have spent the longest looking at his bench, looking at his items, because level 2 Kha'Zix. So this didn't happen. So it's gonna give you an announcement when they level up stuff. So if you can, try to pay attention to it, because if anyone's contesting you, you will see them hit the units, and then you want to go check them out. So I understand that you didn't know that Twisted Fate was part of the comp, right? But you know Kha'Zix is. So at some point, that got hit. And I'm not really focusing on this because we're talking about you specifically, right? But when he hit over there, you got to go look at it. I feel a lot of people don't look at this information, and they're like, oh, I'm being contested. I'm like, yeah, dude, like it was right there. Like it pops pretty big. And then you just like skimmed it super fast, man.
I'm trying to get used to
The
looking at
scouting?
everything because there's so much stuff to look at all the time, from like your items to your position to your units.
So you have 30 seconds. It's not a lot of time, right? So since there's so much information that you can get from scouting, I think it's best if you prioritize things in a certain order, and if those things are not met, then you can take your time and look at different things outside of those. But the most important thing are Zephyr, Blitzcrank, Infiltrator positioning. Those are like for the late game, right? You don't want your targets being assassinated by the assassins. You don't want your carries to get Zephyred, and you don't want Blitzcrank hooking you if there's a Blitzcrank in the game. There generally will be in the early game. And the other thing is more of an early game thing, is we want to look around to see if anyone's contesting me. If I'm scouting, right, and I'm doing Void Brawler, and I see that he's got Jhin and a Caitlyn, I don't care. I'm gonna skim through that one. Doesn't matter because he's not contesting me. He's not my priority. If I'm doing cybernetics and I'm thinking about pivoting into snipers, then I really care about looking at him in specific. How far ahead he is from me? How aggressive do I have to be in this lobby? Can I just chill out and then econ and then roll it down? Like that. That's the reasoning and the information that I'm trying to get. The items are secondary because the items are, if I'm trying to do Void Brawler, and he has snipers, looking at his items is going to be a waste of time because he doesn't have the units. And he seems like he's already committed because in this game he probably has a Jhin, and I think I saw a Jhin with a Caitlyn. So at that point he's committed. So I don't have the time to focus so much on this guy who's clearly not going to be trying to contest me, and there might be somebody else that is trying to contest me. Does that make sense?
So it makes more sense to just especially pay more attention to the guy that I'm trying to contest.
Yes. I like to see different. Pay attention to the people who are contesting you, because you're number one, right? But yes, but like, do that full scout, see who's contesting you, who's not contesting you. If someone's contesting you, like, there's multiple ways of doing it. You could do it on looking at the synergies on the left, which is a slightly sloppy way of doing it because sometimes that'll backfire you, and they will be holding the units on the bench. So ideally, look at the synergies on the left for like a quick skim. Look at the bench. If you don't see anything that's yours, you can keep it going, man. Keep it going. You're like, okay, cool. Now, you see someone, you can either keep it going or stay. I recommend keep it going, figure out the people who are contesting you, check out their names, and now you know who you're going to be looking at for the rest of the game. The thing is, at some point, somebody might pivot to you because they high roll a lot of your units. So that's something that you have to be more aware of, but more for the mid game, because people sabotage and do all these annoying things. But for the early game, I think that's gonna help you out with the scouting, because I understand it's challenging. It's a lot of information. If you don't know what you're looking for, you're gonna be overwhelmed, and I hope that helps.
It does. Thank you.
And I feel like I'm giving you way more information just by talking, but. Yeah, because all these games are like would be fine, but getting no information out of them, you might as well just look at your board and have a good time watching things to sparkle. I don't like the scout at this point because to me as a player, it's a lot more challenging because there's two people, right? Like you have this guy and this guy. So if I click him, it's gonna show up here. But if I click him, I think it also shows the same. So it's like you need to be able to geometrically slash it and then visualize that these people are like his and then these people are like his. And it's a lot easier if I can just roll down and have all the money always on the left. Or not, all the money always on the right and all the units all on the top. Like visually speaking, to me, like my pattern of recognition is a lot easier to do it like this. But if you can split it and know which units are belong to who and like money belongs to who, you can do it that way too. It doesn't work for me specifically.
You prefer just clicking on the icons on the right instead of...
Yeah, I just like rolling it down directly because like all of the units are the same. And so I don't know if you know this, but Ari's bubble when it comes back it deals true damage. So this comp can be very good against protectors. Hey.
I guess we will go.
Kind of embarrassing watching my gameplay now.
Want me to mute you? I can do that, it's fine.
Well, I can't even hear it too, so I don't know. It was just embarrassing watching how bad I play.
What do you mean?
But it's good though. Like,
so, I'm working on this. I'm trying to give more positive reinforcement, cause like, again, you know, a good chunk of the game of how it's worked, about how it works. It just, and this is why I tried to come up right with the best slogan that I could. And what I'm trying to do with this, and the name came after the slogan, is Alchemy Coaching, turning iron into gold by polishing our fundamentals. Because you have the fundamentals. The thing is, they're not as clean as they could be. If you clean them, you'll be significantly better at the game. Again, you told me that you're fairly recent to the game, so you can't expect to be like amazing at it when you just got in, right?
I like that slogan too, though.
Thank you.
Gold. Yeah.
Pretty hard. I was going. Still gonna be no problem.
Oh man, the Celtics dodged it. Oh man, that Lucas is terrifying. Oh Zoe, please. I'm trolling. So, you chose Kha'Zix and put him in. Would you have done anything different?
What do you mean?
Would you have done anything different in that last turn?
The last turn.
We were here.
I think I would have moved Kha'Zix a little further to the right, and then possibly try to either move Cho'Gath to the right more, or to the left, so they can either get the Caitlyn or the Vel'Koz more, just so that he's not really sitting off by himself. So
I feel you're focusing way too much on positioning, which is odd because people generally don't care about positioning enough. What's stronger, a level 1 Kha'Zix or a level 1 Kassadin?
Probably Casimir. He's a 3 cost.
He's at 3 cost. His ultimate significantly better because it can essentially stun or silence a bunch of units at the same time. So I think here the play is to pick up the Kassadin, put him in the front line, and then that way you can silence the Vel'Koz so he doesn't press R. You have no way of knowing that you're going to fight him. But Kassadin's going to be strong regardless of who you fight, and it's a high roll because you have a 15% chance. Oh, that's the one thing we didn't talk about. Do you know your levels? Like level percentages? Do you know how that works?
No.
Ooh, okay. This is gonna help you. This is the one thing I feel has helped out the players the most, and the one thing I feel the tutorial. I think that's only on the phone. Like I just made a new account and I didn't get a tutorial for TFT. I have the numbers on the YouTube video. They do change these every now and then. I tried looking on the internet and it was a lot harder to find them than I thought it would be, but you can probably find them if you search hard enough. These numbers represent the cost of each different unit. So gray is 1 cost, 2 cost, 3 cost, 4 cost, 5 cost. This is the percentage of you hitting any random unit of that cost in that level roll. So your level is going to give you 2 things. The number of units on the board and the number of percentage for each cost of the game. This number is going to change as the game progresses. When you hit level 5, there's going to be a 40% chance to hit 2 costs and a 20%, I believe. Again, I don't know the numbers by memory, not all of them, but I know that 40%. Why do I know 40%? Because when I'm hyper rolling for level 2, for 2 cost level 3 units like Yasuo, like Jin Zhao, like Rakan, I want to stay at 5. 5 treat me very, very nicely because it hedges, like, I get really good percentages. Now, if I'm looking for ASOL, it is impossible for me to find ASOL at this point because the percentage is 0. The reason why I mentioned Rebels and I wanted to hit level 8 at 4-2 is because before it jumped from a 1% at level 7 to a 7% at level 8. That's a significant increase in percentages that I'm going to find the ASOL or any other 5 cost so I can put him in before everybody else and I'm strong. So knowing these percentages are going to tell you what level you can push for strength or what level you should chill out econ and then push for strength, depending on the comp that you're trying to do. So for a Void Brawler comp, you generally want to roll down at 7 or 8. Not sooner, not later. You hit your 1 Kha'Zix, that's all you need. You don't need to 2-star this boy. You want to ideally passively hit your Malphite, your Vise, your Malphite, and Blitzcrank. They're generally easy enough to find. So you just want to rush 7 and 8 and then go from there.
Makes a lot of sense.
I know that was
I thought that was this whole time.
The what?
I thought that was just. I said, do you want to know what I thought that was the whole time?
What?
I thought that was like physical attack damage.
Oh.
I was like, I have no idea what these numbers are, and every time I try to hover over them, they don't show anything. So I'm like, I have no idea what these numbers are, but they're colorful. So I'm assuming the blue is magic damage.
Oh,
damage.
That's interesting. Because I'm pretty sure like Riot did their best to try to keep it as clear as possible, but because I don't think to this point, to my knowledge, that they don't explain this in the tutorial. Like, I can see what you would think, like, blue is magic damage, green is health, pink might be, like, magic resist or something. But it also matches the rarity of the card. So, blue is rare, gray is common, and that's what I'm pretty sure that's what they were going for.
Makes a lot of sense now.
So, yeah, like, if you're trying to do, and some of these numbers are going to be more important than others. Like, the 1 cost, I don't care. 1 cost 3 stars aren't generally going to do anything. So remembering this one isn't going to do anything for you. But the 40% is going to be huge. So level 5 is 40% for 2 cost. Level 6 is 35 for 2 cost and 35 for 3 cost. Level 7 is 40% for 3 cost and I think 30% for 2 cost. And then after 8, it becomes like a giant mess. Level 7 is 1% for 5 costs, and then now it's been nerfed to 6% for 5 cost. These numbers are subject to change. And that's what I said, I think, multiple times on the videos. Like, I don't want to focus specifically on the hard numbers. Like, we can talk about them right now because we're talking about them right now. But it's the concept behind them. When do I want to roll down? Because we always want to econ, but we econ with a purpose. We want to econ either for leveling to hit units later, or for rolling it down either slow or fast to hit our units now. Rolling slow means rolling any excess money on top of 50. Rolling fast is going from 50 to 20 or from 50 to 0. Usually 50 to 0 is the wrong play because going from 0 to 20 gold is going to be really hard. And if you stay at 20 gold, it's easier to go back up to 50. So there's 3 ways of rolling down, which you're going to want to do depending on the situation that you're at. So we saw this one. Man, Caitlyn did something. Blows my mind. So I like the scouting, but you gotta make sure that you get your items first.
Right.
So you went for the rod. Would you have done anything different?
Probably would have gotten the Yasuo first just so I can get the Seraph's Embrace.
Okay, I like that. I agree with that. I think there's also an argument to be said about that spat, because it lets you flex into a lot of things. Spat is very, very strong. You could have done Mech Infiltrator because getting the spat is almost like a win condition to get the Demolitionist synergy with the mech. You can also use a spat to make Vel'Koz a magical girl, and then get 6 orcs, 6 magical girls. So it's very flexible, but based on how the game is right now, I would go with the safe route and just get that tier because I got access to it before everybody else. And there's only one tier in this carousel, and because of the way special carousels work now, it's not a given that the next carousel will necessarily give you a tier, because it might be a full built item, it might be nothing but a defensive items. So since you don't really know, I would agree that the tier is like the way to go. But I'm saying is the other possibility, and why there's an argument to be said for that. I'm gonna skip here real quick. Okay, I like this. So I'm curious, why did you choose that little legend?
Well, I chose them because I don't really have that many.
Oh,
And-
gotcha.
And he's like, I noticed that people like to troll you, so they'll sit right next to whatever item you want to grab, and they'll just grab it. And he's harder to see. So
What?
I'm like, okay.
Oh, you're trying to abuse mechanics, I see.
Yeah.
I respect it, I respect it.
Sometimes it's so pretty against me though.
Oh no. We high roll
I'm like-
Syndra. So Syndra here is a high roll, right? Because it's a 15% chance, and we hit her. We have 2 magical girls and the Poppy, which gives us 4 magical girls. We have the tier for the Sarahs. We have the rod for the... Like, right now, the way magical girls worked, or at least worked last patch, they were really capable of flexing between Void Brawlers and E-Girls because of the item similarities. Like, I remember one time I said, me E-Girl, and like 2 people decided to sabotage me on purpose, and I just pivoted to Void Brawler and got first.
To be honest, I don't think I even know what Star Guardians were, so I don't know if I even
Oh,
knew
gotcha.
to get Syndra.
Yeah, and like, honestly, you'll get that with experience, because at some point, like, you'll honestly probably, at least in my experience, get bored of playing the same comp over and over again, and then you start seeing other stuff. But for learning, definitely do one comp at a time. Like, don't buy more than you can chew. Okay, so are we lose streaking on purpose, or is this an accident?
I was trying to lose.
Okay.
But that goes back to the question of like, how do I lose without losing too much health too?
Okay. For that one again, it's like the scouting thing, right? Wait.
Like, am I dollars?
That's okay. I made a
That's okay.
special point in this one. In the video, I talk about PvE. I put all the PvEs together. Man, I put 1.7 and it's 2.7. It's gonna be a pain. I have to fix that at some point somehow. Do we level here? Your answer was yes. I want to know why.
Well, I just really didn't want to lose to these things, and I knew that I was getting my butt kicked the whole game, and that I really wanted these items. So I was like, I don't know if I'm strong enough to beat these things as I am right now. So I'm going to buy my XP right now, so I can throw another character in there to guarantee I can kill these things.
Okay. So I call this playing emotionally. Because we're playing based on past experiences where we didn't do well, and we don't want that to happen again, right? So, when making... Okay, I'm not saying the decision of leveling up is wrong. Sometimes, it's smart to level up. Sometimes, you add a Krugs even when you level up. Because it's happened to me a lot of times when I'm trying to abuse the loose streak, and when I was open forwarding for Mech Infiltrator, I didn't have enough strength to finish it. Well, it's not great, but I'm at that point, I say I was limit testing, even though I probably just griefed myself a little bit. But the thing is, in this situation right now, you don't need to level up, in my opinion. Why? You have a level 2 Zoe. You have 2 Vanguards. Vanguards are designed to be tanky. You have 2 Sorcerers who are designed to do damage. If you position properly, you should be able to clear this without having to level up. Why is leveling up bad? Because you're at 41 gold. If you don't high roll 3 gold off of these Krugs, you're going to lose 1 gold that you did not need to lose. And we're lose streaking because we want to get money. So leveling up makes us lose money that we could have just made for free. And
Yeah.
okay. And the one so do you know how to position for these?
They're not the jumping ones, are they?
No.
I just throw my guys out there and hope that
See,
they get
okay.
knocked.
So to work on that, you want them here, right? We want to focus 1 Krug at a time. So we kill this one, and then the other 2 are a lot more manageable. Ideally, we put a good solid tank here because these 2 guys are going to walk over here, right? So he's going to have to tank both of them. You can put Mordekaiser here and Leona here. I think there's an argument to be said to just put the Zoe in here because she's the only level 2 that you have. And then you can put the Leona maybe here. Or maybe even here, because she'll keep on tanking after this thing goes through. Ahri does true damage. True damage is big. Like, it's huge. So, you can do Mordekaiser, Zoe, Leona, Ahri. Mordekaiser is always going to get sold. He does not belong in our final comp. We can give him the tier, so he presses R faster, and he gets like a giant armor, a giant shield, and he does AoE damage to both the rocks at the same time. By that same mentality, we can give Zoe the sword, so she attacks more because she's a level 2. So she probably has like the highest attack speed and damage on the board right now. So by utilizing our units, by utilizing our items and positioning better, we can clear this without having to lose our breakpoint. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, definitely super helpful to know.
And again, there is always a good point of leveling when you're very, very weak, but we're not very, very weak. And that's because a lot of the plays that people will make, sometimes I'll ask them like, is this right? Because I saw them make a play. And they're like, oh no, because I made the play. And if you're asking me, then that means it's wrong. I'm like, no, it was right. Like, I'm not asking you whether like to try to mess with you. I just want to, the play might have been right? And then I ask him, why did you do it? And then they'll give me the wrong answer. And I'm like, okay, no. And we don't want to play based on past experiences. We want to play on how the board's looking right now. So the answer is this because of this. And it's like, oh, and that's really the moment I think that helps. So we ended up using our items anyways, and we gave them to Ahri, which and your final comp needs to be in the composition. So we're gonna have to sell her later on, right? That you gave Ahri items, and I think you gave her the items because you were scared about dying. But then now we have issues because we have to sell Ahri to find 3 more Ahris. So it's going to take us longer to get into the power spike. And we're already in a losing streak, so we need to get the power spike as fast as possible.
I should just left one on, or at least done it earlier or something.
Yeah, it's either commit earlier, ideally give it to Zoe, right? So, do you know what an item holder is?
Yep. Somebody you're gonna sell later. Anyway.
Exactly. So in this specific situation, right? The item holder I think was Zoe, so we give her the death cap, we give her the tier, and then we have things rolling. What happened there? Was that just bad APM or did you see it?
Bunch of gold just popped up on me. All that.
Wait, how much gold did you have? Okay. You sold that. You were at 39 gold. If you sold the Leona, the Fiora, or the Kha'Zix, you would have hit 40.
Oh yeah.
But because you didn't sell her, You didn't hit 40, so you lost 1 gold. And I know it might sound like I'm being really anal about like 1 gold, but that 1 gold eventually could turn into like 10 gold down the line. And that's what we're really trying to work on.
Buy that one character right at the right time too.
Yeah, and it's just like I don't know if you didn't think about it or you had the APM to just click the button fast enough.
I was still learning hotkeys.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
still kind of learning.
Okay, gotcha. So I see you kind of struggling here. See you thinking.
Yeah, I think I was still thinking whether I should go to my other 2 comps, which is the protectors or the cybernetics. So I was
So-
like, everybody kind of has everything. I don't know what to do.
Man, I wish you could. Okay. Can you go into cybernetics like this? I mean, to. Wait, did you say cybernetics or protectors?
I was going for half-half, but then at this time, I was like, maybe I should just go cybernetics because I have the Lucian, the Fiora, the Leona, and I have a Vi. So that's 4 out of the 6. So I was like, maybe it's not too bad, but then I realized everybody has like 2 stars or and better. This guy has Aurelia. So I was like, I don't really know what to do right now.
So,
So I
can you
think I ended up
pivot? Can
just
you
going
pivot
back.
to protectors from here comfortably?
This one, no way.
Okay. Why?
Because you need your Zen, Rakan, and the Nico that I already sold. And you also need Jarvan too, so pretty much nothing here.
So Jarvan doesn't really matter. Jarvan's there for the synergy. Jarvan's like colleagues. I feel the main reason for why we can't do that. Let's say nobody's doing protectors, right? That means you can still go protectors, but you made a death cap, so you can't make Morello without going for another rod, and you're gonna need a Negatrons and 2 armors, because for that comp you want Bramble, Dragon's Claw, Shojins, which you already have on the board, and Morello. So you're very far from units, but units don't bother me as much because I'm gonna get percent chance to hit those. Items not so much. Items, I have what I have and I have to work with that. So I think the biggest limiting factor here isn't the units, it's the items. Now,
Yep.
makes
Now that
sense?
you mention that makes a ton of sense because I'm pretty close to the items, but like for protectors, but I have nowhere kind of near for cybernetics. Well, for what I usually like to get anyway.
So actually, I disagree with that, actually. Like, you have nowhere near close items for protectors, but that death cap can go on Aurelia. You have a sword and you have a Negatron. So you can do IE and QSS. So even if it isn't perfect items Aurelia, you have enough items to, like, sort of get close enough. You have the bows. They're honestly like the worst item right now. So you can just give one to Leona, give one to Fiora. You have a Fiora, you have a Vi, you have a Leona. That guy rolled it all the way down. That guy might have the Fiora, the Aurelia, but he has no money. What is he gonna do without? He can't roll for the unit if he can't pay for it. So right here, if you wanted to pivot, I think ideally you pivot to cybernetics and not protectors. That makes sense?
Makes a ton of sense. Plus, I think Death Cap, I really would have been better than what she had.
Oh yeah, this guy's trolling. Like, bro, dude, look at this guy. I don't want to. We're not here to bully, bro, but he made Shiv. You made Shiv, bro. This item is dead until they rework it or they change the game that early game actually matters, which it doesn't right now. This is trolling, even though it's the best item on her. This is just Omega trolling. Like, what is this? My eyes. We made whatever the heck this is. Like, an item that does percentage damage on Aurelia, has no money, is level 5. Oh, God. Let's not. But the thing is, don't get into what I'm trying to say. What I meant to say, I wanted to focus on, is don't get intimidated just because you see him have one unit and go like, oh, he hit me earlier, so I guess I can't do it anymore. Because there's other factors that matter. His items, his money, the other units. And so there, if you are committing to avoid brawlers, you need to sell your units. But even if you didn't, I think you could have sold Malphite and Lucian, or Malphite, Leona, and Mordekaiser, and still made econ, even if you were still undecided between your composition at this point. Like, to me, it's really, really important to always hit those breakpoints, because that's just every time that I'm not doing it, I'm losing money. And TFT is a game about money more than anything else. Dude, we're looking so good for Cybers here.
Just a quick heads up, but your words sometimes get cut off.
Oh, sorry.
Now and then.
I don't know if I'm being too far away from the mic. I think that might be it. I have a new mic, and I'm trying to figure it out.
That's cool. I think sometimes the mics have like noise cancellation, and if you're too far, then they think.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. It's just, again, I'm new. Like, I've never had, like, it's just snowball ice, and I'm actually really excited about it. But I have no idea how to use it properly. And I know that that's a problem, but I keep forgetting.
On the new mic, though.
Yeah, man. So nice. Oh, we won that! Oh! That guy rolled it down, was a level ahead, and we still won it without using our items. That's like Omega 5 head. Wait. Okay.
Oh, cause.
Yeah, so would you do anything different here?
Would have still bought the Lucian and then get the Vel'Koz for later, and keep cybernetics items up right now. So
I feel the best way to describe this is, I need you to put a ring on it. I'm gonna need you to commit. Because making this solution means I'm gonna lose 2 more gold at the point, which I think I've already lost like 7 to 10 gold for not making breakpoints. And if I buy this, I'm gonna have to sell him if I'm not gonna commit to cybernetics. And it's a hand that gave me a Valkos, which is the only unit that I care about in Void Brawlers, because I already have a Cho'Gath and a Kha'Zix. So picking this solution is literally wasting money. And so it's okay to go Lucian if you want to go Cybernetics, but if you're gonna go Lucian, commit to Cybernetics and don't buy and like sell Cho'Gath. Well, not sell Cho'Gath, but sell Kha'Zix for sure, and then just commit to Cybers. Because the thing is, I feel you're so undecided between the two comps that it's not letting you itemize appropriately. It's not letting you have the strongest board you can properly, and it's not letting you either econ to level up to hit what you want or roll to hit what you want. Which, again, I think both comps are going to have you rolling, but I think buying Lucian, if you're not going to go Cybernetics, is going to be a waste of money here. Does that make sense?
Because when you sell them, you don't get the full money back, right?
Yeah, you get one cost always give you the full money back, but then afterwards, I think it's like a 30% devaluation. I know 2 costs give you 4 gold when they're worth 6, and then I think after that you lose like 4 gold. I'm not 100% sure. I rarely ever sell 3 costs. Like if I make a 3 cost, I'm committing to it. 2 costs, right. There is an argument to be had, but I don't see any professional player ever doing it. I don't like doing it myself. It just doesn't feel optimal. And again, I play to be as clean as possible.
The 2 costs or the 2-star?
Leveling up to 2-star. No, that like selling a 2-starred level a 2-star level 2, a 2-star 2 cost is gonna give you 4 gold back. But we bought it, man. Okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
It's a learning experience. It's a learning experience. Okay, so if we're, I want to see what you do here. I want to see how.
If I was to read it, I would have sold the Ari, and then throw the cap on Vel'Koz, and left the Zoe in.
So why are we hesitating to give Fiora the sword?
I wanted to save it for GA, and I didn't want to sell her yet because I think I was still confused as to where I was gonna go with the comp.
So Who do you want to use GA on?
He's gonna put it on to Vel'Koz.
Okay.
Now I put it on Cho'Gath.
Okay. I'm assuming that before your mentality was to put it on Vel'Koz. After we talked, put it on Cho'Gath. I like that. So, if you were still hesitant about going cybernetics, it's better to give the sword to Ari or any other unit that's not a cyber that you're going to sell. You want to give Fiora and Leona either bad items or a selfer. That's it. You want to keep the fist and you want to keep the fist, the Negatrons, and the sword because you want to make IE QSS, right? We play for the most optimal if we get lucky. We play to get fortunate. If we don't hit, well, we didn't hit. That's life. But right now, you could give her, instead of the sword, the bow. Bow is a bad item right now. There's no item that you're going to build that you want with the bow. And giving it to her just get some value off the item anyways. So you can give the sword to Ari, give the bow to Fiora, and then you're getting the most bang for your buck. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. Thank
Okay.
you.
Really, and again, that's why I keep asking specifically that question, because I don't want you to agree with me. I just want to make, if it makes sense, it was a learning experience.
That makes sense too, because Fiora's not really gonna be doing too much, so might as well just give her something.
Ooh, look at that.
And Leona,
Aurelia.
Yeah.
Oh, that really bad item, Vel'Koz. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh. See, items are just so important.
a whole bunch of
I just heard you whisper to yourself. That was terrible. Oh.
I think it didn't help that this was Lilac Nebula, and I was like, what am I doing?
Actually,
So,
I've heard a
yeah,
lot of people
at first
not like Nebula, but I think this is really, really good for new players because then that forces you to learn a comp that you're not used to playing. Like, you will learn it. You will get better at this game, or you will lose trying, which is okay because it's still learning. Okay, so we use cybernetics for literally one turn. Wait, what are we doing? Oh, I think we don't know what we're doing. Oh, we got 3 brawlers. Okay.
3 Brawlers, 3 Voids.
So is there anything you could have done that turn that would have been more optimal?
So the Ari throw the death cap on Vel'Koz. Saw the rest of the cybernetics off too.
Man, first of all,
I'll go ahead.
uh,
For one of the Brawlers because I don't need the 3 Brawlers when 2 is good, and probably put in Zoe.
so you don't sell Vi, right? She's a cybernetic.
Yeah, don't survive because you need the 4th Brawler.
Okay, so here, I guess I want to focus more on positioning and the units. Vi is going to be a better unit than Malphite if they're both 1-starred, right?
I didn't hear the whole question. It got cut off.
Like, Vi is going to be a better unit than Malphite, right?
Yeah, much better.
So we would switch out Malphite for Vi. We also want to fix our positioning to the one I told you because it's more optimal, but I'm not going to go over that because we already went over it. The other thing is, you have 3 Brawlers. But you have 1 extra. If you don't need that 1 extra one, then why we keep it? We could also just take out Malphite and then put in Shen or put in Ezreal and then get Chrono.
Did you choose Chrono over Sorcerer?
We do it for 1 turn, and ideally we would have Twisted Fate and get both.
Oh, that's true.
So it's really just trying to get the
That is
most
a really
bang for buck. The what?
I was just saying that's a really strong pick then. That Twisted Fate because I just never used them before. But
Yeah.
seeing as how much he has with this build, he's like perfect.
Yeah, and again, it's just the optimal build that tends to be developed is the one that's going to be in the meta snapshot. And if you're not up to date, the meta changes and the units might change. And this is still a relatively new set, right? It's not. I think it's been out for at most like a month, maybe less. So, not like again, everybody's still in that phase of if you don't play professionally or you don't play actively like in Diamond or Platinum, it is gonna take you a second to figure out all the little bells and whistles. But when you do, you feel like your level of play gets so much more clean, man. It's all about that cleanness. I'm sorry that I keep interrupting you, dude. I just kind of get excited.
That's good. I don't want to talk. I already know what I know. I want to hear you talk.
Oh no. I want to make sure that we both can talk and stuff. There. Ah, did he die? No.
Too slow. That Blitzcrank grabbed him. They're putting Blitzcrank in the bottom corner, and then Vel'Koz to the right of him.
So
that
Blitzcrank goes here.
Blitzcrank's
The other one that I've seen is going here. Vel'Koz here, and then Blitzcrank here. But I like this one better.
You like this position better?
Slightly. The thing is, I want Vel'Koz in this forward upper corner because infiltrators can't get to him. They have to go here and they have to go forward. So I have a Twisted Fate here that's gonna like die, but he's gonna give me precious time for Vel'Koz to press R. And because of everybody gets pulled in here, he presses the ult and hits everything. If he's playing infiltrators and they jump over here and they start walking over here, he's gonna ult like this and he's gonna miss them entirely. So is it better? I would say a little bit, but not the most optimal.
I'm just sitting on way too much gold right here.
I think you could have leveled 7 here. Oh, wait, where are we rolling? Yeah, we could have leveled the 7 there. Please sell Zoe, please sell Zoe. You want to hit that 50? Okay, so we're gonna work on that 50, right? Oh, what? So why did we make buy?
There's your 2 stars.
Okay, so based on what we talked about, do you think that was optimal, and why?
Not really. We just need her for the synergy.
But what's the ideal Vel'Koz items?
I see. So I should have just sold her to get the items off.
Exactly. So it was fine to keep her in there with the Negatrons for now, but when you get the chance to 2-star her, then you sell her, and you sell only 1 off anyways. But when you join her, then we have a problem because that's a 3 cost, and then selling that's gonna cost us a lot of money, lose a synergy. It's gonna be harder to hit, and it just becomes like a bigger mess at the end of the day. Ah, we're doing it. Double Squid, baby. Let's go.
Still think I probably should have thrown the Zoe.
It would have been fun. Zoe's a very bad unit. She got buffed and she's still very bad.
Oh. Just another body to block and stuff too, and she has a stun, so it saves.
No, yeah, it's better than nothing. I will agree with that. But wait, dude, if you picked up the spat and the carousel, you would have gotten a fawn. That's all I'm gonna say on that one. We see the Twisted Fate. We're not gonna pick them up.
I noticed that.
We can do. You could do Star Guardians here, but you don't want it. What?
I was just saying, I find that most games where you find a spatula, you're probably gonna find another one.
Well, maybe in your games, my God, I don't get it. And nothing. The game hates me. Dude, my RNG is one of the most dog things in the world. Like, the reason for why I have to play as optimal as I'm telling you is because of my terrible RNG. Please, Vel'Koz, don't press R. Don't be a troll. Okay. Oh yeah, I don't know if you read the patch notes, but mana got nerfed significantly.
The tier thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it kinda sucks.
So, do we push for levels here? And I like the scout a lot. This was a solid scout. What did we learn from the scout?
Well, can we? I'm sorry, I wasn't really looking at the scout right then. I was still thinking about my items.
Oh,
Can we rewind the video?
no, it's fine. I can tell you. So nobody's contesting us. That was the big thing. So that means that we can hit our composition to 3-star everything without having too much trouble. So we can slow roll to 8, like slow level to 8, and once we're at 8, we can slow level. We're kind of scared. So if we take 20 damage, then we just roll all the way down and hope to get lucky and hit. But nobody's contesting us. We're still relatively lucky. We're online, so we should be good. We have Vi to start. We're one of Vel'Koz getting upgraded. So we're in a pretty good spot, all things considered. And that's what we really want to look from a scout. We also want to use our items. You're making GA. Okay. And it goes on. Vel'Koz. Okay, that's when, before we knew how the mechanics works.
Just knew GA saves my guy. I'm gonna throw him on. But
Yeah, the thing is, GA is counterintuitive. So, if I ask you, is GA good on Caitlyn?
I mean, if she was strong, but you'd probably want to replace her with a different sniper.
No, but okay, let's say it's early game, right?
ultimately,
And we're trying to win spree. We have a Caitlyn 2.
Say
Is it-
no, because her ult needs time to channel, and if she gets disrupted or dies, then it just stops.
No.
Does-
And that's why it's counterintuitive. And some of the micro mechanics, you just have to either look them up or like learn about them. I don't know how. I learned about them because I was talking to someone about the game, and I remember I think I was streaming and I was shit talking our Caitlyn, and someone's like, put a GA on her. I'm like, why? Like, she's worthless anyways. And he goes, the ultimate goes through even if she dies. I didn't know that.
Wow.
Vel'Koz's ultimate
Really?
does not go through when he dies. Caitlyn's does. Does it make sense? Not really. Is that how the game works? 100%. So, units that have their ultimate go through even if they die can use a GA. Like Nico or Cho'Gath that are very important that they press R once. Units like Vel'Koz that can be interrupted really want that QSS because of that. Because QSS is going to make sure that even if he's about to die, he doesn't get stunned, so he like melts out damage. I remember having a level 3 Vel'Koz who basically one-shot a level 3 Aurelia and a level 3 Gale. The guy that was fighting me was like, what was that? And I'm like, true damage, bruh. It is what it is.
Right.
So, yeah, the GA mechanics are not very user-friendly. And I wanted to give you another example.
Yeah. You kind of cut off a lot there. Caitlyn,
Oh.
her ult goes through, and then the next thing I heard was your Vel'Koz killed Aurelia.
Oh, that GA allows certain units ultimate to go through. Other ones, you just want them to press R once. So Gangplank, Cho'Gath, Nico, you just want them to press R because you want the CC to go off at least once. So that's why they get priority on GA. Units whose ultimate still goes through when they die can also use it very effectively. Like Caitlyn, whose ultimate goes through even when she dies. But Vel'Koz, if he dies and resurrects, the ultimate gets cancelled. So that's why the GA on Vel'Koz is bad. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Well, we hit Malphite 2 at 4-3, ladies and gentlemen. So why are we pushing here?
I'm looking for my Vel'Koz.
Why did we put in Gangplank?
I don't know. He's a 5 cost, so I was like, he has to be good, right? Just throw him
Nah.
in here.
And the patch that you're playing him, he just got super nerfed. Now, Lulu's a good unit on her own.
I take him off right after this though.
Ah, look at that Aurelia. Ugh, Chungus. Wait, can she clutch it? Boom. Nah. Oh!
One more.
It didn't look like it. It did not look like it. I think you had to use your items to win that fight. See, now I'm concerned. Now I'm 25 health. Now one bad fight and I'm out of the game. So you went for the rod. Any particular reason?
Because I wanted the Lulu, and I figured that's already a decent item on Lulu since she does magic, and I know that I have recurve it's gonna do with the rod, but
Okay.
there's a chance that it does something cool. I just don't really know my items yet.
Okay. So Lulu wants mana. She doesn't really want AP because she doesn't deal any damage. She just silences them. So getting damage on Lulu is very ineffective if you're trying to itemize her. So here I would be desperate and I would probably roll down all the way to 0 because I want to make sure I don't die. I want to top 4 because we're not winning this game, right?
But
Do you feel strong enough to win this game?
it's from next round. I was like, I don't remember, but this game, no, we definitely are losing. Top guy's at 100 health. Oh, yeah, this sucks too because now that I bought Gangplank, I'm getting on his little upgrades.
Yeah. There is also an argument to be had for demo spat Vel'Koz. I think it's more of a fun meme thing, but you had the spat and you had the rod.
People.
The demo spat Vel'Koz. So you're just trying to optimize your percentages to hit the... Wait, are we gonna do it? Ah, okay. I thought about it. I thought, wait a second. Yeah, you might as well give it. Wait, no. So why should we not have given her the Quinsus?
Doesn't do any damage
Well,
to give it to her because it just makes her attack faster.
yeah, I understand the reasoning, right? But look at the round. What's the round that comes directly after this one?
Oh, we gotta fight monsters.
There we go. And they drop off basic components for items, so we might have been able to hit something else that we could have used that bow for. Let's say armor. Maybe we could have done a locket, even though it's not really good at this point in the game. But making decisions at this point is bad because we would have had more options in literally 30 seconds. And like the Winsus isn't going to be an item that's going to save the game, whether or not we use it. I think that spat on the Vi was a good idea, and you should have done it because it would have given you Celestial. If you were close to losing the round, it would have helped you. But hey, it worked out. You won it.
I've been able to get the celestial thing.
Synergy? Oh, don't roll, my guy. Don't do it. Not here. Why are we rolling? Or why is it not a good idea to roll here?
What?
Why is it not a good idea to roll here?
Honest favorite gold because you're definitely gonna beat these guys. And you just get the little bit of extra gold and just do it at the end.
Yeah.
Next round.
So you're just wasting away all of your interest gold that you could have had. And you didn't pick up that Cho'Gath. Okay. Sell. You didn't sell the. Oh, I think you wanted. Yeah. If you ran out, you could have picked up that gold and saved it. So now we make Titans on Cho'Gath. And then the Celestial Spat. I think. I hope you put in that. Oh, will we hit? And we sell everything except the 2 Lulus. We do Celestial Spite and Titans, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm going for, but I think I'm too slow.
Ah, gotcha. That guy's level 3 Vel'Koz. That guy is trolling. But his items are significantly better than yours. So I'm pretty sure you could have won that if you had the Celestial Spat. Wait, you sold... So why is Thresh all the way in the back?
Just in case somebody jumps back there, it'll help Thresh before it hits Vel'Koz.
But then you just put Lux in, right?
Yeah, I guess that would have been smarter.
Yeah,
Is it good to have Thresh doing stuff? I don't really know. I just know that he grabs people from your bench.
Yeah, so you want him in the front line, or relatively close to the front line, because the faster the more he auto attacks, the more mana he gets, and the more auto attacked he is, the more mana he gets. So the faster he can pull in someone. So what I would do here is like put him all the way in the front. Okay, this is a perfect example. So I would put him either here or here. And so the problem with the way you have the bench right now is you have this Kha'Zix that's completely, utterly worthless as a 1 cost. And you have a 1 in 4 chance to get screwed over. And you're like, I like the mods. And then you hit the mods, boy. So you have the Lulu with the Gwitsuth, the Lulu that's still Lulu and Lulu's busted. If you have the spat, you might try to... Doesn't turn on the synergies, but... there was like an argument for having the Lulu in already. And he pulls it in, and you're like, well... GG. Like, I'm pretty sure this is the round you lose without even having to look at this. I'm like, look at this health. Look at this roll. We're out of here, boys. Blaze of glory. Wait, there's a chance. Ah, but this time we pulled in the right Lulu, and Lulu literally clutches the fight. Look, oh my god, Lulu's so clutch. I'm pretty sure you would have lost that if Lulu wasn't, like, if he killed Thresh before Lulu got picked up, you would have lost that fight.
Yeah, I'm thinking, where can I put my Blitzcrank to grab somebody important? And I saw a whole bunch of frontliner people. I don't even know what to do at this point.
Yeah, you can tell based on your positioning and your items that you're just confused, and it's understandable. But the goal is to not be confused and then be the one slapping. Oh, we're fighting against it. Please don't tell me this troll kicked you out of the game.
Looks like it might be it.
Thresh press R. What unit did Thresh? What unit did Thresh pick up? I want to see what unit he picked up. So if we sold these 3 units, we probably would have won that round and then top 4, I think. So again, it's little things that are gonna help you get over that hump. And once you master all of those and you're flexible in different competitions, again, I saw it with the first guy I coached. He went from silver to plat in like 2 weeks, literally working on those little things.
I might not have that much time to play, so I might not get there that fast, but it's good to know all these little things so I can get there eventually.
Yeah, and it's just, as long as you're having a good time, because again, that is the 7th fundamental in my list of stuff, is you need to have fun. If you're not having fun, why are you even trying, you know? Because you're just suffering for a little digital picture, essentially. So, as long as you're having fun, you're getting better at the game, and you're understanding why you're doing what you're doing, and trying to improve, I think you're on the right path.
Why would you play any game if you're not having fun, right?
Have you met the people playing on League of Legends? It is a very, very toxic community. I'm also part of it. I understand. I put my fair share into that, but there's a lot of very, very aggressive people over there. But I think that's gonna be it for the coaching session. So thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.